Chronicles of Narnia. Barbie director Greta Gerwig is apparently going to be directing 2 films in the franchise. I think I said before that it was the first 2, but upon reading the report in closer detail, it's just 2 films. It's not the first 2 films, so yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Netflix, they acquired the film and TV rights to C.S. Lewis book series in 2018. There hasn't been a formal official announcement yet, and Netflix hasn't commented on it. But the New Yorker is reporting that a deal has been made with Greta Gerwig. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this in terms of Chronicles of Narnia becoming back as a franchise, it being on Netflix, and Greta Gerwig being a part of it?
The OG Chronicles of Narnia came out like early 2000s, right? Or
2005, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, so okay, mid early 2000s and 5. That's fine. I mean, Chronicles of Narnia was really enjoyable for me personally.
I love the first one.
Yeah, I haven't watched it recently, but just from memory, from when I was a kid, I watched it. I enjoy Prince Caspian, and then I didn't watch the others.
Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I think there was only 3.
3.
I didn't like Caspian. Yeah.
Yeah, so seeing that franchise, and it's a very iconic book franchise as well by far. Like you definitely study at school at some point, here in New Zealand at least. So yeah, I am actually excited to see this. Greta Gerwig as well. I mean, Lady Bird and Little Woman and Barbie on the way. She's a very, very capable director as well. It is somewhat out of her comfort zone because she's really used to like somewhat original stuff where she can apply some real world themes and like emotional hooks in that.
Yeah.
So with her like adapting an actual source material, she can't really she probably can.
I guess Little Woman counts as source material.
Does it?
Yeah, because there's been like lots of films and that's on a book as well. But yeah, like with that kind of thing, she would have had more space to change things up and change themes and whatnot. Yeah,
but with this, you have to appeal to like a big fan base, really.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what sort of Greta Gerwig sort of spin she can put onto it. But I have complete faith in her that she can do it.
Yeah.
If it's the first 2 movies, that's great. Because that means she's like setting up this franchise, and then if it goes well, she might sign on to do the rest as well. And it's through Netflix as well. I mean, I know they're pretty hit and miss sometimes with their film content, but
understatement, yeah.
But from my memory, this is probably one of the biggest, like, or most acclaimed director they have filming or directing one of their films.
Oh, David Fincher for Mank. I remember that one.
Oh, was it on Netflix?
Yeah, it was a Netflix exclusive one. Yeah. They've had a few. Martin Scorsese, Irishman.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. One off then. One off. I'll change that statement to one off. One off.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, Chronicles of Narnia, we haven't seen it in a decade plus, like a film. So now is a good time to reboot it. It for not only for nostalgic purposes for you and I, but also for the new generation going on.
I agree. Yeah, I think with the Narnia franchise, I think the first one was actually good, and I think it was actually really well received. But the other 2 are barely like memorable, and I don't even remember like much of a release for the 3rd one. It died really fast. So I think you're right in terms of this being the right time for it to be rebooted, because there's been enough time for that series to die out as it failed pretty much completely, and then. With Greta Gerwig signing on for 2 movies, I think that's a good thing because the original one back in 2005 only really had that 1 movie going for it. And if at least Greta Gerwig's on for 2, you're going to get quality for 2.
I feel for that first one. It was just more of a, let's try this and see where it goes. They didn't actually like plan it for the other 2 movies. They were just like, we'll make it and see how it goes, and it was very well receptive. So like, oh shit, okay, cool. Let's quickly make the next one.
Yeah, and then it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. I don't like that it's on Netflix. I'm so sick of Netflix, honestly.
It's because they don't do physical media.
They don't do physical media, and their theatrical releases are poor. They're just all over the place.
Is this actually going to come out in theaters? Or, to be fair, it's still hearsay, so we don't know those details yet, right?
What's that?
If this is actually going to release in theaters.
Well, yeah, I imagine they will, because they do theatrical releases for like a week or 2 before it comes out on Netflix.
Yeah,
we've seen a couple of
Yeah,
Netflix movies in cinemas.
Yeah. The Grey Man was one.
Yeah, Roma. That was one too.
Red Notice.
Yeah, we saw that. We didn't see that in cinemas. I think we got a screener for that one.
I feel we did still in cinemas technically.
No, we didn't have a screening. A screener. Yeah.
So I watched it in the cinema.
Maybe you did. I don't remember. I don't remember watching the movie. I'm being honest, but I know I've seen it. But yeah, no. So I just hope that it comes out in theaters. They give it a good run, and actually like a proper release. Say, something that comes in VMAX and it's a wide release, just with Netflix names attached to it. They just got to do that. I'm be really interested to see the numbers. What kind of budget are they going to do? Something really like low key? Is it going to look like a Netflix movie, or are they going to put real money into it? Say 100 to 150. You can make a good Narnia movie with 150. I think.
I feel because it's so fantastical in terms of fantasy wise.
Yeah.
That they sort of need to put a lot of budget into it because you not only do you have like CGI and whatnot, but you also got costuming, set designs because they go through so many different like sets and whatnot throughout that Narnia world as well.
Yeah.
And then you also have Aslan. Is he the lion?
Yes, he's the lion.
Need to put some decent budget into him because he's essentially a main character and one of the core ones in the Narnia franchise.
Yes.
So I think it should be quite high, like hundreds to close to 200s, I reckon.
Yeah. It definitely needs some money put into it. As for locations, I hope New Zealand gets a shout again.
Oh yeah, because we did the film. Yeah.
So New Zealand's got some great landscapes for something like this. So yeah, hopefully they do that. But speaking of Greta Gerwig and Narnia, she's made some comments recently about how, and her agent as well, about how she's going to be kind of transitioning to bigger budget filmmaking. Basically, she said that she wants to be a big studio director. She kind of wants to tackle it like a weekend buddy, Christopher Nolan. She says that she wants to play in different worlds, swing between big films and smaller films, and just basically wants to have the freedom kind of pick and choose what projects she wants to take on. What are your thoughts on basically her becoming a big budget filmmaker? And is there any specific kind of world or franchise you'd want her to be involved in?
I think it's great. I mean, she's not really well known to the common person, but her films are fantastic.
Yeah,
definitely. Barbie's definitely going to put her on the map for sure, regardless if it's bad or good.
Yeah.
Definitely eyes will be on her for that film, so that's a good step forward for her. And it's good to see that she said that she doesn't just want to do blockbuster films. She wants to do she wants to have her big blockbuster stuff to fund her little stuff, which is good. So we're going to get those smaller films from her, similar to Christopher Nolan, except I think now Christopher Nolan's he's a blockbuster sort of director, but not in a blockbuster in the traditional sense. He is a blockbuster.
Yeah, no, he's like the household director. I would say he's the most popular director working today in terms of getting people into seats.
Yeah. So it's nice to see that she wants to try something new. Like she wants to give a proper big blockbuster a go. I think she'll be able to nail it, depending on the project as well. And as long as it can fund her other projects, like it did for Nolan in his earlier days. Sorry.
Yeah.
It'll be fantastic. I mean, we could literally see the next Inception or The Dark Knight from Greta Gerwig. From her. So I'm all for it. It's a good choice for her as well, because she's still sticking true to her roots without selling out technically.
Yeah.
In terms of franchise, I don't know. It's too hard to be put onto the spot with that. I mean, obviously, the first answer is going to be anything comic book related, but I don't think it should be comic book related. I think her franchise is Narnia right now, and I think she should focus on that because I think she can do a really good job on.
It's a franchise that needs to start, or it has potential. And so if I heard her unlock that, would be cool.
Or even a Barbie franchise. I mean, that whole world is literally her oyster.
Yeah.
If it's super successful, she can literally make that
more Barbie stuff is coming. I promise you that.
Definitely, probably, yeah.
No doubt about it.
But yeah, Barbie could be her avatar as it was for James Cameron,
Yeah. I mean, I like it, and I like it in the way that you described it with Christopher Nolan, how he does go from really big, large scale stuff, and then he comes down to smaller scale stuff. So in that sense, I do love the move for Greta Gerwig. It's like you said, it's not selling out, just going to Marvel or something like that. She can actually like have freedom to keep her visions and creative integrity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The thing with Nolan is that he, like you said, he is a blockbuster, and he is able to command an Oppenheimer movie that cost $100 million to be 3 hours long, have black and white scenes, be R-rated, and just dominate IMAX. He has that kind of power. So
because he worked his way up to that.
He did work his way up to that. Absolutely correct. So if she's hitting to that level, then absolutely, because we need more of these kind of directors where they can come into a studio and be like, I want to make a movie about such and such. I'm going to need $150 million for it, and I want to be playing in this format for this amount of weeks.
True filmmakers, people that are passionate about this industry rather than just paycheck to go on to the next one.
Yeah. And it's like where, the director can come in and they can be like to the studio, like, cool, fund this movie. I'll make it. We're going to make good box office. Get the fuck out of my way. I'm going to make this movie kind of thing. Yeah. Stuff like, Denis Villeneuve as well. He's someone that can just come in and do that for the most part. Martin Scorsese, obviously.
Spielberg as well.
Yeah. So
those bigger, older boys.
And the potential that Greta Gerwig has shown so far, definitely got potential to be that next person. I really thought it was going to be Patty Jenkins in terms of a woman director being to this kind of caliber in terms of how popular they become.
Was it because of Wonder Woman and then...
Yeah, the first one blew up.
And then like all eyes are on her and then Wonder Woman 2 happened and it just...
Yeah, and then she got booted off the Star Wars movie because she was signed on for a Star Wars movie. Owned the Wonder Woman franchise.
She had a good like future set up as well.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, okay, yep. So she's going to be like the first like woman director to be on a really large scale,
which is sort of annoying. Like if they were, I'm just going to assume they're judging on Wonder Woman 84, like how that bombed, and then they just got rid of her for those projects. Whether it's like they didn't want to invest in that, or because of she didn't, the students didn't think that she was capable enough. It's a bit harsh, like judging.
It is harsh,
judging someone on one film. Like they had like an excellent film, and then like obviously a dud. You learn from your mistakes. I'm sure if Wonder Woman 3 was an actual thing, before James Gunn came on, I think she would have nailed it really, because you would have learned from those mistakes and criticisms.
No, I mean I definitely agree. But it is Hollywood at the end of that.
Yeah,
it's a tough business, and you kind of got to always be on your game. Always producing and making money for them.
Pretty much.
Because, millions are at stake.